Hello and welcome back. So, things are spicing up a little bit here at the great Chronicles of House Weirlight. As some very strange new is starting to come to light. However, how is that important? We're at a wedding.
Yeah, not that we know.
Screw that.
Some of us are.
What a fun wedding.
There's a lot of interesting stuff going on back home.
We don't know about it yet, so.
Here.
Yeah.
At the wedding. The best thing. It's not a distraction. That's insane. Who said that? I'll kill them.
That escalated quickly.
So quickly.
Come up with an
Has
NPC
to do
name.
with
Give them the
Anthony.
name.
I'll kill them now. All right. So I will say I did make a mistake. House Manning's castle. It is in fact called Helmcrest. A truly mighty sounding name. So we are currently in the lovely hall at Helmcrest. It is it isn't much. There isn't a ton of chance to say hi to people. Not quite yet. There is some canoodling to do. There is many houses show up. Many of them, you would get the feeling, are definitely here to see if a fight breaks out between the two families. As nobles, as this is, of course, in the Crownlands of King's Land, not a lot to do. Several banners that some of you recognize, some of you don't, have been placed here. There's one chest with crest with a half white, half green banner with a spiked mace and a dagger crossing it. There's one with a black field with a pink hourglass with 3 spears in it. There's many banners in the background. One of 2 pickaxes, war hammers, crossed on a Scottish X, blue and white X. Another which is a field of purple with white stars across it. Just many different strange houses that some of you recognize, some of you don't. House Riker, House Staunton. None of these people really showed up in the books much. So they weren't really important to that story, but perhaps they will be important here. So I will say, as you guys are kind of waiting and maybe chatting with some people, coming in, there is a tall, curly-haired, blonde man with piercing, just these deep blue eyes. He's in a sort of tabard and a blade at his side. Definitely tall to start with. He has a gilded pendant of the 7-pointed star hanging from his chest. Coming in with him is a bit of an older woman. She's he looked, early 20s, late teens. She's mid 30s. She has long blonde hair that's part of it is kept up in this kind of stylized bun, but the rest hangs free. She has a kind of flowing darker colored gown, kind of a blackish color with some yellow trimmings to it. Stood right in front of her is a young blonde girl looks like around Tisea's age, and coming up, standing next to him, gripping her hand, we see kind of a staunch man with a bald head and a crooked nose who kind of looks like a vulture.
Oh.
As we see the Dulvers have arrived.
Oh.
And seeing you see Harold Dover as he enters, he shakes Arthur Manning's hand and then looks at the rest of the place and just sneer, a sneer to everything he's seeing. And then he spots
Oh, we missed him.
your group and he goes
Can you just sneer?
My
Sneering.
sneer, mild
Hey.
interest.
Sneer. Hey.
and he
Sneer again.
gestures his family to walk, and he walks forward and he goes right up to you, Tedric.
Harold Dulver.
Yeah, he grips you.
Yep.
And then shakes your arm.
Man shake.
You're turning out well.
I'm sorry, you just broke up.
He goes, and everything turning out well so far on your lands?
Oh yes, everything's turning out just exquisite.
Good. I don't think I was able to
Just great.
to introduce you last time. If I may beg your pardon, I'd like to introduce my wife, Lady Felice. And she goes, charmed, and then she looks at you and goes, Vivi!
Oh my god.
And she goes up to you, and there's a hug. Kisses.
Air kisses.
Hugs. She immediately says oh, red fire beetle. Yeah, you say
Inside
some.
jokes.
You say what do you just say back? What's the proper red fire?
Purple sea slug.
And she's just those are the days. It's so good to see you. I'm sorry I missed you. When you came to visit, but apparently everything worked out well. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping, and whatever you said or did to him, I think snapped him a bit out of it. And this must be Hudron Tedric. How lovely to meet you. And then you just see this elegant, beautiful, well-spoken woman who is apparently Harold Tolfer's wife.
You look absolutely divine.
He goes, thank you so much. And you just hear Harold all right.
Okay.
That's enough.
Calm it down. Enough of
Bring
that.
it back
Enough of that.
20%.
You got to bring it to this.
And
Yeah.
she's just scoffs at him. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you for being friends with my husband. Whatever has done has thoroughly improved his mood. All right, well, we don't need to keep telling him, man, everything.
What's done is done, and I'm also glad that it happened.
Well, as am I. And of course, oh my God, are these your children, Vivi?
They are. Well,
Apparently, you're very busy.
well, I mean, no.
I do.
Yes, this is Mariella and Henrik, and we'll have my not my youngest anymore because I just given birth to my
I heard. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is Tisea, and this is
Derek. Yeah.
Garrick, put down the sweets.
He goes. She goes. Lady Felice goes over to you, Mariella, and she kind of takes her hands, and she just kind of looks at you and kind of breathes you in. And there is an utter, actual light to her face and her smile. Nothing about her you don't believe is that kind of fake noblewoman thing. This smile is a real smile. She seems genuinely happy, and she's just look at you. Aren't you gorgeous? Oh my God. No, I think Vivi, I think she's divine. I imagine you are batting suitors away with left and right.
every day.
I can't even imagine what beefy, darling. Darling, but if you're anything like your mother, I'm sure like to get things the way you want, and she just like gives you a look.
I drink my arbor red.
If she's like holding my hands, I kind of smile and like I gently like squeeze her hands back, and it's like kind of like give her a look without like saying anything. The men don't need to know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She knows, but it's like, yes, we are women. And she goes, "Oh God, don't you look divine?" And this is your son. Oh my God, Vivian. Like Henrik, like Lady Felice, lovely to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you.
I'm a good friend of your mother's.
She's told me so much about you.
Oh, I hope so good.
Of course.
Though I must say, your warmth and your loveliness is her words don't do you justice, my lady.
Okay,
it's lovely to meet you.
I kind of like Eric's arm. It's like
I'm kind of
we must say we missed you when we visited your home. My mother was quite looking forward to it. It was one of the highlights.
I'm so sad. But we get to meet and talk now in a festive setting.
Indeed.
And it doesn't cost any of us money, which is even better.
I kind of like look over at Harold Dulver, like, with
and he just like smiles, and he's like,
"Yeah,
the best part, yeah."
Great. I'm just saying, I think the prices on the King's Road these days for horse grain is ridiculous. As if there's a shortage. I'm telling you, that man Tyrell, pirate. And she's like, darling, maybe we could stop, maybe not starting a war before the wedding starts.
Perhaps after.
Yes, far more appropriate. But Henrik, oh my God, you're gorgeous. Look at you. You're such a handsome young man. Oh God. Oh, you must meet mine, Walton.
Oh God.
And he's just been like waiting, like. Okay.
Beautiful son in the corner.
Yeah.
And he comes over and he bows slightly and he goes, Lady Vivienne, it is a complete and utter pleasure to meet you. I'm Sir Walton. My mother has spoken many great things about you and your family.
Oh, charming as ever.
He takes your hand. He takes your hand and his forehead, and does the same to you, Mariella. And then he goes to you, Henrik, and he's big. He's a lot bigger and just wider. But you know, he goes to give you like a hand grip, and you're no slouch, man. You're tough. Yeah. So he feels it. He's like, yeah.
You do that like good, like
bro.
Equally like strong handshake. But not the one that but like.
He goes, I hear your family. I hear your family breeds horses.
Dude,
quite something.
One of our many skills. So
I personally want to thank you, Lord Henrik, for defending my hall when I couldn't be there.
Just like quietly, like nod with that. It's like, of course, our families are friends. You would have done the same.
Yeah, I would indeed, and if you need anything, just let me know. And then he and then he kind of goes to just like embrace you into like a man's hug. But he does whisper in your ear, he does whisper in your ear, and says, also I know some very fine young ladies who might need our attention soon.
Walton be getting it.
There we go. My man here. Oh my God.
He's looking out.
Yeah, he basically
buddy.
He's immediately like, I'm your wingman at this wedding, dude.
Wingman.
Thank you. I love solid bro nod after that. I was like, yeah, man. Damn up, yeah. So rad.
Bro nods. He chose to shake your hand as well, TJ.
So loud.
Thank you so much for what you've done for my family. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help represent it better.
That's perfectly fine. You're here now. That's what matters.
You're too kind, sir. Thank you. And then...
I'm just happy that we could be there in your absence to help your family.
As am I. And then Felice goes, and Helen... and kind of pushes Helen forward, and she's just kind of goes forward a little bit. and kind of to say, I kind of like looks her up and down.
Oh,
Yes.
To say we know.
Who's the better 7-year-old? Our kid.
Is this a friend
Helen's
or an
8.
ally? Is it ally or an
Oh.
enemy?
Yeah, so it's just like so. This is Helen,
This is
and this is.
Tisea. 7.
Oh, I see.
I'll watch real quick. Like, hopefully they're
Yeah, it's just, there's a
quiet.
moment, and to say it just goes, like your hair looks nice, and then Helen goes, "Does it? My mom did it."
This is like if you
and then
put
she
two
kind of
cats
like
in the same room.
chuckles like a bit at that, and goes, and then she's like, "My family breeds horses. We've got lots of horses." And goes, "I like horses a lot. Like, well, then we should probably be friends then." and Helen goes, "Well, I mean, all right."
The pact is sealed.
And horse blood.
Oh no.
I'm a down
This
person.
is like if you put two cats in a room together.
Just like, oh, mate.
Do we like each other? Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No,
I
this,
guess.
this is a pre-existing
Fine.
cat with a puppy. You kidding me?
Yeah. So yeah, the Helen and Tisea immediately
Mm-hmm.
talking, and they're doing that young girl thing where they're just continuously touching what they're touching something and moving and fidgeting. And then he goes, "Oh, is this your younger brother, Garrick?" Walton kind of puts his hand down and he goes, "Nice to meet you, thank you, sir." And goes, "Are you a knight?" He goes, I am, son. I'm an anointed knight of the 7. So, like, have you killed a dragon?
Garrick doesn't know what an anointed knight is.
Love Garrick.
And
kinda like-
Felice just goes, and he goes, "No, unfortunately, dragons aren't really around anymore." So, you haven't killed a dragon? No. And then Garrett just walks away.
All right.
He goes, "Oh,
He's still 12.
I go after
He's
Garrick.
learning.
12?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Both Felice and Orson say that at the same
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
Teeters just gives that grim. Yeah, big boy.
Go out,
because they're
go
feeding
and
him horse
retrieve
feed.
Garrick.
Mhm.
Yep.
Miracle Grow.
Sometimes we just stick him out in the stables, let him eat there.
And yeah, he goes, Hell, he goes, good, we've all met.
Great.
No, he goes, Teedrick, Vivian, at what point do you think this is going violent?
The moment everyone starts drinking, I assume.
Interesting. My money is on the ceremony.
Ah.
That's where my money would be too.
Like Felice, like, oh, don't be so dour, Harold. This all well. And Harold just kind of looks at her. I go, I think you of all people, my love, should understand how unreasonable men be. And then she's like, Harold, you just didn't. He goes, I did. And she's just like, oh. And then she like touches his shoulders and stuff.
They're
And
so fucking cute. I love it.
yeah, you can actually see Harold and Felice, though physically and sometimes socially polar opposites, seem to be very much in love and have a fairly.
It's
Teedrick, also, you just generally notice. Also, Namora, you'd probably notice it too, because before there was just an utter dourness to Harold 24 hours of the day. But there is just now a subtle, like, small smirk the whole time, as if maybe he's happy.
Yeah, like
He's a little bit spicy now.
Yeah. Helps we're not in that like dark,
He's got his
depressing
baby back. He's
castle
got
that
his
they
little
have.
girl back.
Mhm.
I goes, good. And like, yes, well, I think we're going to be seated soon. If anyone knows. Oh. And he just like hits you, Tedric. And he goes, and he gestures to the front hall as the heart banner has seemingly arrived outside.
Oh.
And
It's happening.
Shit's about to go down.
yeah. And as it does,
You'll be able to cut
some people start coming out. So one moment. There it is. There it is.
I'll lean over to Vivian. I'll be like, I promise not to start anything.
That exasperated sigh. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
I'll whisper to him, if someone starts something with you, finish it.
Oh.
Dang, Mom.
Fighting words.
Oh.
Pressure. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust some things.
Starts.
Boop.
Just trying to get all the combatants on the screen.
Yep,
Yep.
on the screen for the murder that's about
All
to
out
happen.
murder.
all the
out
hit
murder
points,
fest.
all the battle schematics.
Get this
everything.
ready.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
can't wait.
this isn't the red wedding, it's the burgundy wedding.
We
Mhm.
brought just not that anything's gonna go wrong, but we brought weapons and stuff just in case,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Listen.
And I have
No.
I have my baby back inside the carriage.
Mhm.
Brought? Oh god. Okay, nice.
It's the bleeding heart wedding. Watch out.
Oh,
God.
I would let. I'm actually going to briefly, so you guys can actually see what this place sort of
We're gonna be
looks like.
responsible for so many
Okay.
deaths because we're
So
making like comment.
changing the thing.
Whoa, different map.
Like movie.
Yep. So that right there is how. So look at it. It's so.
It's
very
beautiful.
cool.
So most of the
Very
people's men and stuff are kind of camped over here outside of the drawbridge, on the
Mhm.
other side of the moat, essentially. And you guys have been sort of brought into this area, and then you're kind of hanging out. A lot of people are hanging out in the inner. So if you see in 6, which is the great.
Okay.
So there's people about, people doing stuff. It's real fun. Again, not a large castle, nothing too big, but you know, the moat's nice.
Yes.
It's extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Fast.
Vast.
Mhm.
So,
Just say different words to describe how big it is for like
Mhm.
as we first walk
so
out.
as the hearts enter, we see the people. Now, if anyone wants to make a breathing test,
Yes!
status breathing, to know who the hell the hearts are.
I would
Crap.
love to.
All right, so it's going to be TR. It's going to be TR.
Yes!
Way to go.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
All right.
You did better than me, Henrik.
Naimora, do you want to know?
What is it? A status test?
Status test.
Status breeding if you got it.
Ooh, and you crit. Aaron, I think that counts the crit, right?
No. So critting is when you get is
Like
only in like
double or
intrigue.
something.
Okay.
Just a general knowledge? Okay.
Yeah, this is just general thing. So all of you know, all of you have at least 2 degrees of success. So good work,
I'm-
everyone.
Naimora
Uh,
knows. She just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's wrangling Garrick into saying
Yeah.
So when the hearts come in, the air changes a little. Where like Arthur just like nods at the kind of man entering. Now the party we see of Lord and Lady Hart. Everyone here knows this is Lord Gerard and Lady Ella Hart. Gerard is a tall man. He has hair length on top of his head that is the exact same hair length as his beard. So it sort of just all connects with just two big streaks of silver dividing them in kind of a dark brown.
Like
He has a sort of weathered face, and the Elahart, unfortunately, sort of has sort of given way to middle-aged plumpness, lending to a lady of her status. Still decked out in fine gems across her neck in a long flowing dress, and long gloves kind of pulled up on her arms. The moment Lord Gerard comes in, a servant comes out of nowhere, kind of startling him a bit, and gives him what looks like a very large, like not like glass, not chalice, but like a mug of something. And Lord Gerard goes, and takes it and just drinks the whole thing. Whatever it was.
One of those weddings.
Yeah.
Kind of impressed already, but very worried.
And then he's like, and he kind of like just almost slams the mug down. And he kind of comes in, and Lord Archer kind of like bows to them, and they bow back, and they have like a few bit of words. There are some people with them. There is a comely young woman. She looks maybe a bit shy. She looks like a little nervous, kind of looking around. She's, fairly attractive. She has very long, dark hair, a very nice dress, very covering dress though. Like it comes up to her throat. You all recognize this as Eileen Hart, who is the second daughter of House Hart. And she is the exact same age as Mariella and Henrik. And also flanking them is a man who is quite clearly a knight. He has deep tanned skin, almost olive colored, and a sort of strawberry blonde wind-tossed hair, and a large grin on his face that could rival Gaston.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
And Nymora, you immediately recognize this man.
Oh, no. Who is it?
This is Sir Etten Hogg.
Okay.
And he is a
Excuse me,
giant
Hogg?
asshole.
Sir Etten Hogg.
He genuinely believes women should not fight.
Cool.
Ooh.
And you once sent to joust him, and he refused, saying there was no sport in it.
Whoa.
Gotcha. All right.
He's gonna get a nasty lesson.
Accidents happen when we go out hunting, so.
You have seen Sir Etten Hogg fight, and you hate it because he's really good.
Oh, okay.
He's won some tournaments, and it's that deserve. It's like that arrogance that he can back up, and it's like so hard. And the worst part is you want to fight him to shut him up, but he just won't fight you because he's a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of shit.
Unfortunate for him that I'm not a gentle lady.
Nice.
I'm going to pick a fight someday.
Yep, for
He's
sure.
not going to have a choice.
And you do actually remember now. You're like, he is sworn to Hart House, isn't he?
Oh, shit.
You totally forgot.
I had conveniently blocked this out of my memory.
But all of you recognize, like, oh yes, that's Sir Etten Hogg. He's quite a great. He's a known jouster in the Crownlands. Henrik, you've seen this before. You kind of recognize his house symbol on his chest, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Etten Hogg. I know that guy.
Yeah.
But Nymora is like.
Shit.
Oh man. And then tucked away in between them, almost then as they move on, just catching the evermost glimpse of her as she passes by, a woman that most of you would quite honestly, the very flower of Westeros womanhood. She is everything every mother and father their daughter being. There's this smile, like to her, this elegance, this beauty that isn't like in your face about it, right? It's a soft beauty, almost like what would be the term? Fey-like.
Elfin.
Elfin. Great, perfect, Heather. Good one. And almost elfin beauty to her. And she has her chestnut hair curls and ringlets around her heart-shaped face with lovely blue-green eyes, and her long lashes often masking them modestly. And as she enters and kind of like curtsies, and a lot of people in the room are like noticing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is of course not something Vivian or Marilee or most people noticed. Nymora, when the Weirlights entered, a lot of dudes stared at Mariella. They were busy like introducing themselves to the Manning. You didn't have that need, so you were sort of looking around. So there are definitely some young-looking knights here who have eyed Mariella pretty like
hardcore
immediately.
Also,
to a lesser extent that you're concerned about, also fairly giggling maidens upon singing Henrik.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
But yes, time. It's that total utter cliche, like time stopping kind of stuff. Like
Slow motion. The god light is pouring in.
So nice.
Yeah, and this is of course young Sylvie Hart. She is a girl of 18, and she wears it well. There is a modesty to her, confidence. Just her walking seems to exude things. Yep. So I think they enter, and everyone seems a little disappointed.
What you cut out?
Everyone seems a little disappointed that nothing came to blows.
Damn, she's not ugly. Damn.
So people are waiting.
Yep.
But you can tell it was tense between Lord Gerard and Lord Archer. They were like, like you did notice that Gerard didn't turn his back to Archer as he looked a little bit. Like as if talking, but he was kind of like as if he didn't trust him. And Archer for sure just followed like his gaze the whole time. When the hearts came in, Kevin was like hurried away. It is still sort of a bit common that you can meet your bride before you get married. That's fine, but it's just like it's to welcome them into the hall. It's not common. You're supposed to you see them at the feast for the first time generally. But y'all see. But Sylvie is like there are people around. She's not
She has
mingling
a
with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. As they pass by, they do kind of notice you all and like nod and gesture to you. The Hearts are fairly wealthy, fairly well standing within the Crownlands. They have been, yeah. They kind of like, yep, nod to you, and Dulver is just like, yeah. So, he's just like, did you see that? Vivian, he's not.
Oh, I saw.
I'm very glad you talked me into coming. At least something will be good. Like, it looks like we're setting down for the feast. Helen, Helen, come on, you're going to sit with Daddy. And like, okay. He picks her up and is like,
Oh my god. Protect this man.
Protect this relationship.
I would like to cut to the very first meeting with Lord Harold. Everyone is like, I hate this guy.
I was on
Yes.
team
We
David
hated
from
him.
day one.
It was the maester we all had issues
Okay.
with.
No.
I did
No,
say that I did
Nymora-
not like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nymora also did not like him.
Yep.
I will admit
Nymora
that.
is still on the
Suspicious,
fence
but
about
not
him,
hated.
but
But he has proven himself in Teacher Dice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
And
The
after
fact that
bargaining,
he-
if you're good.
The fact that he defended
that's
the
the door.
kids, it means
Yeah.
a lot to
I'm
me more.
gonna get the door.
No problem. Everyone is sort of escorted to their spot. The Dulvers, of course, sit actually on the heart side, as they are actually here connected to the hearts.
This might be an issue.
Not if we don't make it one.
Right. It seems like, y'all, it might be an issue, maybe not, you're not sure. You are not, however, sat on the, you're basically, the Dulvers and, the Dulvers are not sat at the same table as you. They're sat at, the guests of the Heart side, and then there's a table for the guests of the Mannings. But you guys are actually sat at the center table.
Family
Of the right side of the side that represents House Manning, because you are family. Sat at the head of the table is, of course, Archer Manning. Sat right next to him is Gerard Manning, who seems a little like very close to the end. Maybe he wants to be sitting at the front of the table. And so you are all kind of sat in a row. You see the Dulver setting where they are and whatnot.
Where is the guard table where Mimora is sat? I'm assuming she's not sat with the family, so I just want to know how far away from Mariella I am, so I know how far I need to go if I
In
need
case
to
you have to leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are sat
Like a
at a
feral
table
tiger.
against the wall,
Yeah.
where only one side of the table is accessible.
Yeah.
And there are some other men sat there with you, and some ladies as well. You're actually right next to Jennifer and Mariella. What's your handmaiden's name?
Constance.
Constance. Thank you.
Mhm.
You're sat right next to Jennifer and.
Okay, this could be a worse.
Yeah,
Could be-
you
this
know
could be worse.
these girls, and they
Yeah.
love you. So they think you're
Do
super
they
cool.
indeed?
Well, yeah, you're a woman who beats the crap out of men. Like, are you kidding me? That's
Mhm.
they think you're the best. So they're already talking Clarence. Constance is like, Jennifer, you might find our husbands here.
They are here to network.
yeah.
Yes, there's no shortage of single men based on how I saw a bunch of people looking at Mariella.
Oh, I know. They're always staring at her. Like,
Ooh.
Was this from Constance or from Jenfire?
Constance.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
We do have to attend to our ladies. Of course, we have to attend to our ladies.
You just let me know if anyone gives you too much attention that you don't want. I'll stab them for you.
Like, no, do it. No, don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, no, yes.
Mm.
No, but maybe.
But like,
But what if?
Will you hold me if I'm scared?
We're having big strong arms.
Oh man, make strong arms. So, the welcome meal. So, you see the kind of dishes being brought out. You see mutton turned on a spit all day and marinated with spices encrusted with salt, roasted root vegetables, mainly potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and onions. Full entire onions, shredded and baked in gravy. Loaves of fresh baked bread with butter and honey, wheels of pale, sharp cheese, and plenty of ale and wine.
Nice. Do they have pears and lemon cake?
Not at the welcome feast at the moment.
Aw.
Though, you do now hear Helen, like Tisea said there's going to be pears and lemon cake. Like, I would also like pears and lemon cake. And goes, my darling, you can have whatever you wish, whenever you wish, because you are a Dulver.
You're made of money. You can have whatever you want.
And by the way, Tisea is not sitting on the bench. She is sitting in Harold's.
Oh.
Aww.
You mean Helen?
Helen, sorry.
I said, Helen,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
She is sitting in.
That one.
Helen is sitting.
we
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah.
We got the picture.
It's real cute.
Adorable.
He's kind of just like playing with her hair, and she's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
He's
I'm
obviously-
assuming like Tisea and Garrick are like between me and Henrik. Like we are the buffer.
Yeah. For sure. I'm helping to say
Yeah.
like cut her meat and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're just like, She goes, I only want dainty bits, but leave a big chunk for me to bite. I need as many any experiences as I can.
I love her so much.
She's so fucking cute.
We have to act dignified, of course.
Of course. Like, yeah. So they're the meal is quite delicious. It's obviously the Mannings for sure didn't want to look like stingy hosts in front of the Hearts. Everyone's eating. It is obvious Lord Gerard is like taking a long time to cut his meat. He's just like as if like very suspicious of it.
As I say, is he being like an asshole about it a little bit?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing it out. We should be on the third course by now. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah. So, polite kind of conversation starts. You are basically right next across from the Hearts and the people there. So, if any one of you want to engage in any polite conversation that I don't know might devolve into an intrigue, depending on what goes. Now's the time.
Who are we sitting next to again? Sorry.
The Mannings.
Okay.
And across from the
Hearts.
Hearts.
Next to Mannings and across from the Hearts.
Yeah, it's like
Alright,
think like long rectangle table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So it's us and then the Heart
And
family
Heart.
representatives.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Have Sylvie and Kevin like seen each other yet, or is that still like
They have.
Okay. Are
They're now sat across from each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
They're kind of doing the thing where they're looking at each other, but trying not to have the other person notice they're looking at each other.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Adorable.
Yeah. Vivian, if you're looking at that, Vivian,
Oh, for sure.
make me an awareness empathy test.
Yes. Okay. I can do that. If I can. Okay. So you said awareness, empathy.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. 14.
14. Yeah, so from what you understand, Kevin is very happy with his bride. How wouldn't he be?
Her.
Pretty.
Sylvie's a little harder to read. However, the thing she's doing, the like kind of that, you can tell she's kind of like drawing him in a bit. Like it might not just be that she's looks kind of like perfect and sure, but she might like got some game. It seems like this girl's got some game.
That girl.
Like part of me is just like, good for her. She knows who's drawing. But that...
Ew.
Okay. Is there anyone at like the table that we're sitting at.
Yeah, it's like I would want to know like who else amongst the Hart family is there other than
absolutely.
like
Yeah,
the
just
dad,
kind of like read the
sisters.
Yeah.
Also, myself, I just like every once in a while I'll look up and I'll meet Lord Harold's eyes.
Yeah.
They give like the whole roll the eye or whatever, you know, and nod and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, you two are both having like friends across the.
But it's like is like Sir Etten Hogg with the family or like off on a side table?
He is sitting
Oh.
with the Hart.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, he is a nobleman.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. What with Nymora's bastard status, that's kind of the reason she's over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
If she was a knight, that's a different story, but she ain't, so. Yet.
Possibly in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, Jordan Hugs. He's there.
Okay.
Eating.
I know it's just like the welcoming, like early dinner party.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be dancing later on?
Dancing? Is there going to be
Tonight?
dancing tonight? You know,
Yeah.
things change. Maybe. It depends. If people start dancing. It's more common for there to be dancing at the wedding feast, right?
Makes sense.
That's when everybody
Yeah.
loses their mind and gets disgustingly
Yeah.
drunk.
I didn't know if there was like any like pre-game dancing. It's like, you know, just getting to know each other, you know, while
Yeah.
everyone's still polite.
Yeah, wedding feast people just lose themselves, right? 'Cause that's
Like
just
in real life.
no, exactly.
It's the cocktail hour before the wedding.
Yeah.
But unlike then, when you actually have to drive home, you don't at this wedding.
You
Go
can
to your
just
room.
keep listen to this talk. Oh boy.
Yeah, like Vivian and Tedric know when the wedding feast starts. The moment when Tisea and Garrick need to leave. Like, and you're going to bed now because you're going to see naked women soon.
That's actually where are we? We're all being housed inside the castle, or like are we like quasi encampments, or what?
So you guys are being housed,
Okay.
as is the Hart family, and Sir Etten,
What
because
about the
he's
Dulvers?
the Dulvers. No, they are not. They have their own accommodations.
Okay.
In a. Oh, sorry. Hold on. No. Oh no. The Dulvers are being accommodated. Excuse me.
Mhm. Yeah, I would love to start a conversation with Lady Ella because I don't really, aside from just who they are, I don't know anything about like the Hearts or where they're from.
Yeah.
So I would for sure love pick up a conversation with her with that.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So Lady Ella is just like, oh yes, you're Vivian. So you're Mardella's younger sister.
I am.
I see. Interesting. And so you're from the Reach.
Yes.
Oh, not a lot of crops in the Reach.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she kind of engages you. What do you want to ask her? She seems
it's
very
like,
willing to talk to you.
Wonderful. Where are the Hearts from? I'm.
She goes, oh yes, well we're in the Crownlands. We're at Hot Hall, and we're just outside the capital. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh.
Yes, no, we go to King's Landing all the time. We're at court quite often.
Oh, it must be lovely.
Oh God, yes, the Red Keep. It's so lovely, and it's so fun to see all the young people in their fashions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like I can keep up these days, so I just try to exuberate my generation the best I can.
Mm-hmm. You very well. You look lovely.
Oh, shh. At one point, you do hear like from Lord Harold's table. You just hear, "Oh like,
Felice.
it's not. You don't. It's not Felice, right? Like it.
Mhm.
But you like kind of look over, And there's, this woman
Oh,
there, and yes, you immediately recognize her. It is the butterfly of, like, anytime there's any kind of social gathering, somehow this woman ends up on the guest list.
Uh-huh.
It is the infamous Lady Orlana.
Yup.
So I'll type that in. Lady Orlana. Lady Orlana is one of the most shrill, like, socially, like blind nobles you've ever met. And you don't even know she understands what the word subtlety is.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's here, then you look. Yep, there's her husband, Sir Barris Shreve.
Sir Barris Shreve.
Yep, and it is of course spelled very fantasy-y. Sir Barris Shreve.
I was way off.
Who is quite old. It's kind of hard to actually tell how. Her face is pure white, but not naturally. Makeup. She has powder. Her cheeks are red. Literally think French court. She in fact even has a wig on that's tall. That is for sure powdered as she moves her head. And if she's here, Vivian and Mariella, you now see it, and you are looking for her daughter, her poor daughter,
girl,
Aranette Shreve, who Lady Orlana currently goes, "Oh yes, well this is my daughter Aranette. She's available, so if you ever wanted to involve in a marriage contract of any kind."
Oh, poor baby.
And yeah, Aranette is unfortunately, she's kind of quite a horse-faced girl. She's not very attractive. She's very kind of has
Jessica Parker.
Dower.
No, whoa. No, very, not. She's just very. There are people who are conventionally attractive. She's very unconventionally unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
She has very large teeth that are mismatched. She is not an attractive girl, but she also looks just like her soul has been crushed over the years. And this young girl seems to have she's just almost dead-eyed staring away and looks so embarrassed. She's there in her very comely dress. The Shreves, by your standards, aren't wealthy, but by base Westerosi standards are. Sir Barris does nothing. He has not done anything in a long time. He is very overweight. If they had shapes, Sir Barris is a circle.
Gotcha. He's a full circle.
And his face is bright red constantly. He's bald except for some hair on the side and a large mustache, and he's just
mustache.
Yeah, and he just looks like he's got a sheen on him.
Oh.
Yeah, it's rough. These are some rough people. But you just hear, and she's now talking, and Harold is just ugh.
Man.
Wow. Wow. She is gonna make her way over to our table.
Yeah, I immediately catch Henrik's eyes. It's warning.
Mm-hmm.
And do the dark glance.
Yeah, Henrik, you look and you see Lady Orlana. Who you remember from the Ashford Ball who cornered you.
Trying to introduce you to her daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, who I'm sure is super chill and nice, but oh god, I can't get into that with her mom. No,
It's the mom.
It's the mom.
It's just,
Yeah, you immediately see her, and she's about to turn, And you're like, ah.
Furiously cut more of Desea's meat hunched down.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, yeah.
Roll social stealth.
Busy.
Social stuff.
They can't see us if we don't move.
It is sort of that.
Like, she's like the
Say the-
T-Rex.
and then
As
you
long as you
hear-
don't move, she'll lose track of you.
Unfortunately, you then hear, oh, baby!
Oh no.
I just watched Serena's soul leave her body.
And as I take,
you see
I pick up my mug
Holding
of
a white and pink
down.
lace fan, like waving at you very high. Just no one's talking at this volume.
Yep.
Oh, no, mother.
Okay. I, as Serena, don't know social courtesies, but is she just gonna invite herself over, even if I ignore?
You don't know if she's inviting herself over, but she's like seen that you're here and is saying hi to you.
Okay.
I would vote
I will
nod
not
and
like
immediately
wave her over. I will get up. I will get up and go to her. I don't want to bring her over to our table.
Oh, you're gonna okay. I'll just say she's just saying hi.
Oh,
you
okay.
can like nod and immediately
Yeah.
like
I will.
You can-
I will acknowledge. Yeah. Then okay. I'll acknowledge her, and then go back to my conversation.
Yeah, and she's like, oh,
Boy,
Mm-hmm.
she's just
So loud.
so loud.
Oh, God.
So shrill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Her face is just covered in arsenic.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, that lead makeup.
Mhm.
Mhm.
One of her eyes just kind of like.
Mhm.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Aranette also has a lazy eye.
Oh, this
Poor
girl.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Like, you can
Yeah.
see
Poor
behind
girl.
her.
Poor girl.
Yeah.
You also then notice Barris is at the table. He has fallen asleep.
Oh, God.
She's asleep.
Perfect.
Woof.
while all of this is occurring,
Yeah.
who else exactly is on the other side of the heart table? Because I'm assuming I'm.
I exchanged word glances with Dulver.
Oh God, he's just like.
Because I'm assuming we children are probably further down the table, so we're probably not immediately across from, like, the
Bane family and-
like, yeah. Considering they're a much smaller party than we are.
Mhm.
Plus, there's the family of
Yeah. So on the other side, you do
Mannings.
Lord Vane, House Barteld. They're sworn to House Hart. And along with his wife, Lady Aelith. There's also on your side, there is the Lord and Lady Kitely, who are sworn to House Manning. Lady, it's Lord Ambrose Kitely, and his wife, Lady Brea Frey Kitely, as she is one of the daughters of Walder Frey. There's a few people here. There is, just some people to sort of. Let's see here. Harold is actually noticing and talking to to Ezra Stone, not Lord, just Ezra Stone,
Okay.
who is the mayor of Market Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He's not a noble, but apparently he's invited and sitting at a.
Mm-hmm.
He's
He makes-
if he's a stone, does that mean he's a bastard as well?
I don't think so. I think his last name is just Stone. I
I
have to look at the table of bastards.
Yeah, it does.
The crap.
Because stone, I think is used. Stone, I think is used in the where in Erie.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
But he could just have an unfortunate last name. And be like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hold up. Swing, bada, 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 swing. Yep, he is a bastard.
Yeah.
He's from the Erie. Yep.
Good for him.
Snow, stone, pike, rivers, hill, flowers, sand, storm, and waters.
Okay.
Okay.
Good for him. I'm proud of him.
Yep. Lord Harold Dulver hates him.
Oh.
Because, according to him, he, specifically puts extra tariffs on Dulver's stuff. Because of his connection to the Lannisters. And Ezra Stone, for some reason, doesn't like the Lannisters.
Okay.
However, he doesn't put those extra tariffs on the Lannisters stuff.
Because he's
That's
not
better.
that.
Would anyone? Yeah.
It's the Queen's family, yes.
Exactly, right?
Well, yeah. Of course you wouldn't.
Because
So,
I would probably want to
Esther
chat up a
Stone's
couple
here.
people at the table, but it's like
Yeah, so at your table, I will say, again, I say on the other side, and the Kiteleys are on your side.
yeah.
And the other ones at the table, no. Yeah, that's kind of everyone at this table, really.
That's okay.
So there's the main family, if you want of either the Mannings or the Harts, you talk to them.
Would it be possible, it's like with rolling like a breeding or something, it's like who I could maybe, it's like with my reputation and things like that, it's like would be slightly receptive, because I would probably want to like engage like the triangle, like whoever, it's like the pair next to me and across.
Sure,
and, like,
sure.
engage the triangle, but I'm not quite
Well,
sure.
I mean, there's Eileen Hart,
Awesome.
who's the second daughter. She's your age, so.
Okay, so she's like within, like not like shouting down a table distance.
Mhm.
Awesome.
She's like you are. She is like not directly the person across, but next to the person direct.
Okay.
So she's in very normal conversation.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, I would probably want to like chat up partially the group,
Mhm.
with like probably using the fact it's like I am from the Reach. It's like with what goes on here within the Crown's land.
Sure.
What exactly is there for me to look forward to in this specific area? We have our traditions down in the Reach, but it'd be
Yeah.
lovely to know what is unique to this
Sure.
area.
So if you want to chat up by Eileen, yeah, Eileen doesn't know.
Well, like no, like not just Eileen, but like the like include like
Okay.
maybe the Kiteleys and or like whoever is, because I'm assuming
Sure.
with the table it's like we've got Tedric and Vivienne. Henrik is
Yeah.
probably up there because he's the heir.
Yeah.
And then we've
I am,
probably situated Tisea and Garrick in between us to slightly corral
Yeah,
them.
to stay is basically on your right and
And Garrick is on my
left.
okay. Yeah, so
Change them to yourself.
I'm sure Nymar is very happy that she's got the younger siblings on either side. Yeah, so it's like I'd probably want to like include like multiples within the conversation.
Yeah, the kite. Yeah, so you can immediately. So the Kiteleys and Bartelds, both like they like seem interested in the thing. Like Lord Ambrose is like about to speak, and he like goes, "Oh, well, interestingly enough, we do have this," and then literally, at the same time, Lord Devane was like, "Actually, we do have," and they like stop and then they look at each other, and then there's just like they stare at each other, and there's something between them.
Okay.
There is some like, and it looks like something is like some animosity or something. As you do know, these are sworn like knight families of two feuding clans, so they seem to have immediately like, and he's just like, the young lady had asked me a question. Like, I believe, Ambrose, you are incorrect, as she had asked me. Like, and just like,
It's fine.
What are you doing, Marianne?
I will probably smile at both of the gentlemen, and it's like, well, I'm sure from both of your houses there may be individual things, so possibly both answers would be greatly appreciated. Just kind of like,
yeah, you unfortunately have just spiked a contest between Devane and Ambrose.
it's fine.
And you
I
have
did
for
tell
sure
Vivian that I would not
noticed
start
that Eileen, if you had tried to, like, immediately is not taking part of the conversation.
That's
she is
fine.
very shy.
What were you
But
saying?
yeah, they just start talking to you, but they're looking at each other.
I promise you, I would not. That Tedric would not start this conflict.
Their wives,
Bill.
Great
Caleb
daughter
and
started
Brea,
it.
are like a little like, I don't want to put the A's like, well, you know, there's, he does have a bit of a point. And Brea goes, see, see, even Aelith can agree with us. What is that supposed to mean, Brea? Like,
Oh
oh,
no.
I think you know what it
Lovely.
means. He goes, oh, let's think about what it means, Brea.
I kind of like,
Hey.
I probably like lean to Tisea and be like, have you asked if these ladies like lemon cake? Like very quietly.
She's just like chewing, like,
Yep.
no.
Well, you did
Oh.
ask whether or not they might have lemon cake. They live in this general area.
I don't want to talk to them.
That's
She's just like,
Fine.
I goes,
But if
I'll
I
ask
find the
her,
lemon cake, it'll be...
excuse me, like, who are you? Like, what's your name? And it's to Eileen. And she's
Mhm.
like, oh, my name is Eileen. Like, Eileen?
Uh-oh.
I was like,
I hope.
Am I right there? Too?
you're
Am I
right
next to-
there.
Yeah,
you are right.
you're on the other
be like-
side,
yeah,
and like I'm
you're-
kind of like
You are
looking
over.
almost
directly facing Eileen.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll look to like, isn't that a pretty name to say?
She goes, yeah, I think so. I think so, yes. Do you like lemon cake? And she goes, well, I've never been one for sweets much. And she goes, oh, I would have to say I make an exception for lemon cake. And she's just like, and she just kind of like chuckles, but she does that like shy noble woman chuckle of like, just like,
Mhm.
and her whole body language is
super
Yeah.
rigid.
yeah, like this. It's this. But yeah, I think you do notice that she's like
Oh, you cut out.
Eileen's blushing a little bit.
Aw.
You complimented her, Henrik.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing.
Do you want to talk to Eileen, Henrik?
I kind of do. I'm not sure. Problem is, me as Aaron doesn't know what I'm gonna say, but I'll think of something. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Here we go. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you have to say as a wing woman.
I do. Tisea is the best. If all else fails, I'll just fall on Tisea because she's the main thing. She can save any situation. I trust her.
This is our wild card.
This is great.
It's a 7-year-old girl.
You get away with so much. You kidding me?
Right?
Yeah.
She
True.
gets everything.
All right, Henrik, what do you say? I'm excited.
Can I kind of want to ask her, question. So her family is also from the Crownlands, right? Both of
Yes.
the main families are, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Like just get like kind of in a quiet, like more low voice because it's
Mhm.
pretty loud, rowdy in here. Not as
Yeah.
rowdy, but yeah. I was like, what she's excited for about the wedding, and if she's looking forward to anything.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. want you to make a charm test.
Don't forget you're beautiful.
I got this, guys. watch me eat it after this. Okay, yeah.
Does Tisea aid him?
I'm gonna say
cuteness
no.
count?
Okay.
This is something.
It was worth the question.
Yeah.
No, the 7-year-old does not
I'll
provide.
ask the same thing once this all fails and she's my fallback, just in case. But yeah. Persuasion?
Yeah,
Or
persuasion charm.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
One.
That's solid.
I think I can. That's a solid one.
Those
I
are
think I
two.
can
Those are
reroll.
both.
They
of
cut
them.
up.
Well, you got 2 1s in that roll, and are you not attractive?
I am. That's why I was
You
like,
get to
okay,
re-roll those.
Then roll 2d6, my man.
nice.
Well,
One.
that 3 is better than that 2. See. So yeah, 13. I mean, yeah. So do you want to know what your difficulty for thinking Eileen Hart thinks you're charming? 3. You are very attractive and from a very
And
like
And she is cripplingly shy and the lesser sister.
I know.
that's 3 degrees of success.
I love Aaron.
But
I know.
only 3 degrees because you actually with your attractive. So if you would have only gotten 2 degrees, you got 3.
Oh,
So
Thank you, parents.
when you make eye contact with her and address her, her face goes like, and she goes, and she smiles very largely, and she goes, "Well, it's sort of stupid. Like thing I like is you think I'm a silly girl."
I would never think that. Whatever.
Really just like
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sure whatever you think is your favorite, I would also think is wonderful.
I just like, well, not the ceremony, but just, I don't know. Just marriage in general is just romantic, you know? And I think it would be just so great to be married and have a big party and people congratulating you, and, you know, recognizing what you've done.
She's a romantic.
Yeah.
I
am too, and this feels great. It's like I'm like, Henrik legitimately nods and be like, it's like, I actually do understand that. It's, you know, obviously we'll only get to experience it secondhand for a while, but it's wonderful to see, and even better when the bride and groom are happy and excited to be married, and you see their families and everyone around them. It's a wonderful feeling. I agree.
So you look up back at her. She's like at you, like that. What you've just said was so beautiful.
The reach.
Poetry.
You do see over her. You do see Walton, and he's just like. Like,
nice.
Get it.
I do a quick eyebrow lift, yeah, that's right, dude. And it's like acknowledgement.
Because that's why I'm Eileen, by the way.
Oh yes, I know. I saw you when you came in. I'm
like, she looks utterly shocked. Like, you saw me when I came in?
Of course, it was pretty hard not to. You're very beautiful.
Like, yeah, she's just like. She's grinning ear to ear, and his face bright red.
Reachman got game.
You do hear like a from down the way, and Henrik looking at Eileen and looking at you, and kind of giving great.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
okay,
great
dude.
too. Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like, dude, like, okay, like,
Ooh.
like, yeah. So,
Question.
yeah. Hey, what's up?
Henrik within reach of me?
He's Vivian is between him. So yes.
Vivian is right here seeing all
Vivian
of this.
is hearing everything.
Oh,
shit.
Vivian,
I didn't know
you're
she was
engaged
here.
in your own conversation, but you kind of you are hearing a bit of this.
It's adorable.
I'm gonna reach
That's
over
it.
and like give Vivian a little arm squeeze. As I'm pulling away, I'm gonna just clap, like clap Henrik behind, like on the lower back.
It's just like,
Ugh.
Oh, everyone's like dabbing me up here. It's great.
No.
Vivian's like,
No.
no. She is not on the
No.
approved list.
No.
I know my mom's not onto it, but it's fine. It's fine.
She's on the approved list for Tedric.
yeah.
She's cute.
Yes, adorable.
I'd like to ask her while we're still on the subject of like people being happy in a marriage. What her family and what her sister thinks of marriage. If they're like okay with it, suddenly get it like
Oh, she goes, oh, well, my parents are very much in love. My father is a very devoted husband. He seems to very much involve my mother in many things. They're always doing something together, even if it's not all the time.
It's good. My parents are too. I think that's a good way to have a marriage.
Sylvie, she, I think, knows her duty and knows to do it well. I don't really know how she felt about being married to Sir Kevin. Sylvie and I aren't very, we're not very close. I'm very happy for my sister, and I wish her the best. And
Of course.
but I'm not. I'm sorry that I didn't know.
No. No. I was just curious. I'm sorry.
Oh no! No. Just, but I know I've heard some things about your mother and father. They seem. I heard they married for love.
They did, and
That's so romantic.
Right, and yeah. Oh God, yeah. Flashing back. Okay, yeah. It's like, yeah, sure. Yes. Go ahead.
I just think that's so romantic, and and it seems like things are very kind of like that in the Reach. I hear all kinds of nightly stories, and suddenly a glass kind of falls, and you hear like a glass break, and you see Sylvie Hart, and she's holding her chest.
Oh no.
Oh no!
No! No! Did
And she,
someone
like-
poison the blood?
And she looks like she's almost like gonna wreck. And people are like, oh god. People are having very similar reactions. But then she like put the hand up and is like, I just I feel ill. And she kind of squeezes her eyes, and I just need to be excused. And she just like stands up and kind of like leaves the table, and he's like,
Someone checking on her, or
So immediately you hear Lord Tyrell go, Maester Hamden, sitting at a chair up against the wall, and old Maester is like stands up and like a jingling of chair. See after Lady Sylvie goes, and he just
There's probably a huge collection of maesters too, so it's like
there's a couple. Yeah, Thorsten would have been bored out of his mind. But they kind of runs off, and everyone's like, saying,
Everything's all right.
and then Lord Arthur and Lord Gerard are just staring at each other now, and Lord Arthur's like, And you see the other men at the table who look concerned. Looks like Sir Kevin definitely looks like he wants to do something.
I will stand up, picking up my wine glass, hold it up. Sadly, the bride has left but a toast to the wonderful bride and groom.
Oh, Tidrick!
Go, man.
Tidrick, why don't you make? I want you to just make me a charm test.
Can I help at all? Anyway.
Well, he kind of did that.
That's fair. I don't know if I could like raise my glass as well. If that would like help me, I don't know. That's fine. I can let him do it.
It's
stand with him or something.
Persuasion. However, you could also make this a status test if you want.
Status.
All right. 15. Yeah.
Everyone look at me instead.
Yep.
That's 2 degrees of success. And everyone goes, here, to the bride and groom, to the bride and groom. And, like, people clap and cheer. And you immediately see, like, Lord Archer and Lord Gerard look at you. And they're like,
good man.
Because they know what you just did. And they're like, good man.
Then I will sit down after taking a drink.
Just rub my husband's back.
You will see, and she'll be while I rub my back. She'll be able to feel the tension.
It's just wet, like
back sweats.
Very well done, love.
Yeah. So, we will quickly cut away from the wedding feast.
Look over to Dulver real quick. Got to make sure we win that bet.
Pulls away from the wedding and the reception, the welcoming feast, and we see the grand, huge spire of Old Town, this massive walled port, just completely covering a very large area. One of the true metropolis city. Huge, tall galleons coming in and out of ward things. Stone so weather-beaten, it almost looks like concrete than what its original coloring was. As running, kind of walking up the steps to the greatest house of knowledge the world has ever known, rivaling all others, we see the Great Citadel. As many men of varying ages in the dour blue robes wander up and down it and into it, and you see some people carrying lots of food and drinks and things, and somebody went on a coffee run. However, a lot of them stop and turn and stare as Thorsten walks up with Clarissa next to him, and they're all staring at you, Clarissa. Because for some of them, it's literally been 20 years since they've seen a woman.
Glad I'm the first.
I don't know if everyone in the audience knows, the Order of Maesters is a celibate order.
Yeah.
It is illegal to sire children and not
partake in the nookie.
Yeah, partake in the knock to bits.
Partake in the milk of the puppy, but not the nookie.
Yeah, indeed. So many of them are just staring at Clarissa with her flowing fire tresses. And they're just like, oh.
She's frantic, just soul focused.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Both you and Thorsten are just mad dogging.
We got our blinders on. We're just going one direction.
The door swings open. You pass some other maesters with an old. The other maester just takes a book and beats one in the head, just knocking him down. He's like, "Remember your oath." And you enter, and there is a young man in white robes, seemingly writing something down at the large alabaster, basically reception table.
I'll follow your lead here, Thorsten.
Checking in for some. What was the you cut out earlier with the looking for that research. It was in a private.
It was locked away in the vault.
Okay. Request to enter the vault to get some information on House Weirlight.
He stops and looks up, stares at you, and he goes, "Name?"
Thorsten Weirlight.
Like, I think you mean Thorsten Maester.
Yes. Thorsten. Sorry.
And he takes his sweet time going over to a book and pulling it out. Opening it.
So he's like the DMV.
Yeah. Oh, you've just come to it. You were expecting this, Thorsten. There's so much bureaucracy involved.
I'm sure he's also taking his sweet time because you used your family name that you technically gave up.
Yep.
Yes.
So he moves the page aside. Clarissa, this guy takes 5 minutes doing this book.
So antsy, like her foot's going, and it's completely silent and like quiet in here, I'm sure, but her foot is just like beating against the floor.
Yeah, and he just Thorsten. You were assigned to House Weirlight.
Correct.
And you said you needed access to the vaults.
That would be correct.
What is the vault number?
I would know that, right? No. Oh. It doesn't state in the diary?
No. You know the maester who sealed it in there. You know his name.
Okay. I say I don't know the vault number, but I give him the maester's name.
Maester Lutheran.
Maester Lutheran. Put it in the vault.
You don't know the number.
Negative.
And he closes the book, picks it up, puts it back where he found it, goes to the other side of his thing, takes out a different book, 2 of them, goes up to his egg, puts both of them down, opens one page, and begins going through it. So an hour later,
oh jeez,
good.
There are no chairs anywhere.
Of course not.
Like Thorsten, you know this is why all maesters, because they just to stand there.
Mm-hmm. They got a small hump in their back.
Mm-hmm.
And there are now several other maesters behind you who I just need, and he's just like, they need me to look up a vault.
So now you've also got other maesters hating on you.
So, yeah, now you guys are the assholes.
And he goes,
technically he is, because
I know.
Because he just blamed it on you.
Yeah.
He just pushed all the blame onto you two.
I'll just flutter my eyelashes a little bit.
There you go. I got sex appeal in the form of Clarissa.
You will notice that.
Men, yes.
Yes, some of the men behind you don't like. The younger ones are like, oh. The men with them are like squint at you. They're just like.
I squint back.
Succubus magic.
I squint the exact same way they squint at me, right back at them.
Equal squint, and then both of your eyes open at the same time in different directions. There's some maester magic at work. So after an hour, literally an hour of you standing in one spot, in dead silence, he goes, Vault 483 was sealed. The contents were put in there by a Maester Lutheran. Says here in the note that it is not to be unsealed for any means. Like, in order for this rule...
You completely cut out, Anthony.
He goes, so he says, in order to break this rule and open it, you must give probable cause, proof that it is family business within you, and that this is an emergency of a highest proportion.
I immediately pull out the samples that I took, the journals saying that additional information was locked up in the vault. I need to get rid of these. They are destroying our crops.
Like, crop destruction is unfortunate. Why is that urgency to break the Hallowed? I think Hallowed an important place in all of the seven.
I'd like to start a social intrigue.
I was literally about to say, we're starting an inch.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right.
Beat him down, Thorsten. You got
it.
Clarissa can even help.
Yep, she's there.
Oh, I can?
Yes, you're right there, Clarissa.
You're right there, and you're stunningly
You're
beautiful.
right there.
You're the first woman any of these men have seen in 40 years.
That's why I asked if I could bring you along.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
One of the reasons, I should say.
Also, he didn't feel like traveling by himself.
Yeah.
As per what happened with Clarissa when she ended up traveling by herself.
Mm-hmm.
I survived. That's the important part.
Yes.
All right. Status?
Yes.
Yep, it is a status roll.
Status. Oh, very good.
All right. So it looks like. Yep.
And then,
Mr.
real quick, I want to look at one of my things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open up my window.
So it's quite easy. What do you see in there?
Adept Negotiator Social. I don't take
What
a
is
penalty
this?
to persuasion tests from starting disposition, provided your starting disposition remains hidden from my opponent.
Oh, I see. So if any starting... That's really good because it's starting sound.
And then, real quick,
it
does
sounded
anybody know what page in the book the intrigues are at?
Yeah,
Yes,
139.
Yeah, 139 and 140, yeah. So yeah. Let us think. So it sounds like the objective here is service, right?
Correct.
You need to get him to allow you to open this fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
And
you gotta be tough with these guys.
yeah, the Maester and Thorsten, you know better than anyone that the Maesters, that they're the most important people in the entire world.
Yeah, they run. They're like the Illuminati, but more public.
But more public, a little bit, right? They believe all their things are kitty. So now that we have established that you are trying to get, let's have our starting disposition. Clarissa, what is your starting disposition for Maester Lurid? Is it dislike?
Yeah, it's for sure dislike.
I feel like
Absolutely.
it's dislike.
Yeah, for sure. Within an hour.
All right, so you have a DR 5. You have a deception modifier of 1, but a persuasion modifier of -2. Now, Thorsten, what is your disposition with Maester Loris? Is it also dislike? Because this guy's an asshole?
No, it is indifferent because I am used to this.
Okay, you're like, I've had to deal with this forever. It's
Mhm.
just another thing. All right.
Another bureaucracy.
Yep. I will say, if you move it to dislike, you won't have a negative to your persuasion because ability.
Oh, well then yes, it will be disliked then because he's an asshole.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So this is the first time you've really gotten into it for you to use your ability. Yeah, so you dislike, because this guy, it's not just bureaucracy. You know he is doing his best to annoy you because he doesn't care.
Yeah, and he can completely do that.
Yeah. And he can. Yeah, and there's nothing you can say. So you both probably distrust and dislike this man. And if he was to now suddenly come to harm, I don't really sure if either of you would do anything.
No.
Not at all.
Well, I would prevent him from dying, but would I give him any pain medication? No.
Probably not.
He would feel everything that was being done to him if I was fixing him up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You won't take risks for him, and you may entertain conspiracies. Just like, huh, okay. Great. I already know what his disposition for you is.
What is this?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It is different. I will say he has two. One for you, Clarissa, and one for Thorsten.
Oh, he's unfriendly to me and disliked for her.
Ooh, you kind of went in the wrong direction.
Oh, really?
Oh, this bitch. Let's go.
You're a maester, and she's a woman.
Son of a bitch.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yep. And here's the parts where it comes in. Right?
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna
He
run
doesn't
into
know my disposition, though.
No, he does not. And he and you don't know his because
True.
Yep. If you're gonna find was it misogyny anywhere, it's gonna be the Maester Tower of a all-male org. Alrighty then. So let's find out how what we're doing here, right? What are the techniques that are going to be coming to this place? Now, you need him to do something for you.
Correct.
So, Thorsten, are you trying to charm him?
No.
As in, get him to like you more? Convince him, literally just give you facts. Give him facts and try and persuade him through pure logic. There is insight, which is you are trying to make him mad at something, react to something, specifically not you, though. Intimidate, you're threatening him. Seduce.
Yeah, not that for sure.
And then taunt, which is probably, I'm going to tell you, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say seduce him.
To pull up my robe, hey? No.
Show him an ankle.
It will be.
Show an ankle.
Yeah.
Whoa,
It
Thorsten.
will be convinced.
All right. Convinced for you at the moment, Thorsten. What about you, Clarissa?
I would love to use insight, but I can't think of anything that I could use to make him mad right now, other than, well, I could just make him angry at me, and then
So
Thorsten could go.
That's taunt, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will note that taunt generally only has two reactions. If you want someone to fight you, you taunt them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, taunt is probably not what you want to go if you want him.
That's fine. I'll just use convince then.
You also would like to try and use convince. You can always change that. So yeah, sounds good. So yeah, let's. We have determined initiative. We've had the starting arguments already begun. Let's get into it. Thorsten, what actions would you like to take? They're on page 149. Yeah. There's assist, consider, fast talk, influence, manipulate, mollify, quit, read target, shield of reputation, switch to combat, and withdraw.
Just punch him in the face.
Yeah, with my one fighting.
Maester Brawl.
Hey,
Maester Brawl.
Maester
Brawl.
It's like
Gentlemen, this is a place of high alert.
I would like
WWE
to-
Maester off. Yeah, it'd be great.
fast talk.
trial by combat.
Interesting. So you want to put him off guard?
Yes, I want to fast talk, but basically, like, look, this is for the betterment of the house I'm serving. This is betterment for a whole bunch of people. It's going to help not only us, but we are huge. Built the poppy farm to help with everybody else.
So
You're screwing everybody else over.
And like fast, like also this happens.
Yeah, numbers and numbers.
Like you're just like throwing random info at him. I love it. So
but it's factual info. It's not.
Yeah. So you are going to make a persuasion test against his passive will result. So you need at least 2 degrees of success. So I will tell you the TR is going to be, let's see here, 8.
I thought convince was a will. No, that's when someone's trying to convince against.
Yeah, but you are that's when you're using influence to like hit someone, like deal social damage to them, right?
Okay.
Your weapon is convince, right?
Yes.
Like
which I have.
Yeah. So right now though, fast talk is is a flat persuasion.
Okay.
So you need to. All right. What'd you get? 14. That does it. That's 2 degrees of success. The TR is 8. So you just needed a 13. You got one. Good work. Yeah, so you just hit him with all this information. Yes, but all right. And so let's see. Oh, he loses his cunning rank from.
Yeah.
Well, that defense is just down significantly.
Yeah.
So Thorsten has just paved the way. Clarissa, you're go next.
Yeah, I'm just gonna influence him. I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna be like, so, as you can tell from the information my maester has just given you, as the stewardess of this house, I need you to let me access the vaults.
All right, so that is a persuasion convince test. Okay, so with the cunning removed, that is in fact 2 degrees of success. So what is your will?
My will is 3.
So that's 6 damage.
Delicious.
Very nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect him at all.
Oh, that's fine.
Because he hates women, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because he hates women.
It's a mechanical term, but he hates women, so.
Because he got the bitten berries.
He's not a eunuch.
I said it's because she doesn't have.
Oh, yes. So, unfortunately, it seems though, while you got through to him, she then kind of just stares at you and stares at Maester Thorsten and goes, "This is one of the preeminent places in all of Westeros. I am the head delegate Maester Keeper of this particular brand. It is my..." He's like getting a little taller, and he is going to go behind
Huh. Crazy.
Of just going like, no.
No. I'm throwing a fit.
Yep. So
he's gonna act like a 3-year-old.
A little bit. He is saying this, I think, to you, Clarissa. He's saying this to you. He's targeting you.
Okay.
So he's going to make a status test against your base will. So yeah. So your will is 3. You said
3. Yes.
So that's 12. Okay. Yep.
Ooh, nicely done.
So he does it. So your disposition improves 1 step. So you go from dislike to indifferent. As you're like, okay, so this guy might actually, and I need to get him to like, kind of get him. So that's the only thing that happened.
Cool.
However, as everyone knows, Shield of Reputation once per entry. Mm-hmm. So he's done what he's done, right? So Thorsten, back to you. You know, this guy's a tough cookie. He obviously really thinks he's.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So, real quick, I have a specialty in persuasion of convince. Would I be rolling that for my persuasion check?
If you want to influence him directly.
Yeah, I'd like to influence him directly.
Then hit it up, my dude.
You did good.
So this is going to be your influence team. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he'll.
And you're indifferent, right?
I am.
Okay, so there's no modifiers. No, you're dislike. You're dislike.
Dislike him, yes.
Still no modifiers. And you're doing persuasion. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, what's your will?
3, but I get a +4 because I'm a cunning maester to all rolls. I don't know if that works in.
So this is so what? Because this is what? What? Can you read me that thing?
Yeah. So let me scroll up to it.
Because I want to see if this applies in intrigue.
Maester, you have forged your chain of knowledge where it probably requires cunning 3. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You must have the narrators for a character did not need to take the maester benefit. Where is it at?
All right, because this is the maester benefit. Okay.
In addition, add a number equal to your cunning ranks to all knowledge and will test results.
Okay, so no, this is not a will test, right?
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome, but unfortunately, no. So unfortunately, 3 isn't enough to actually effectively. You hit him, right? So socially, you hit him. But unfortunately, you don't deal enough damage to beat.
His social armor deflected all your damage.
Yeah.
I'd like to use lucky and re-roll.
Well, you can do that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You did it good.
That is 2 degrees of success. 6 for you does get past his disposition rating. Oh, I'm sorry. Yours also got passed by 1. I'm sorry. Because you had 6 too.
Yours.
Oh,
Larissa.
cool.
I am the dumb. Yeah. So, wow, I was dumb. Yeah. So you've dealt 1 point of influence to him. Well, a small amount, and then you have just dealt him a little more. A little. Yeah, and you just give a very convincing, like, sir, I need to fulfill the orders of my house. This is part of it, and I found through my years research, I just need access to the vault. The previous maester locked it. He did. Like, I am now the new maester. I supersede him. He's just like rubbing his mouth. He's listening. Clarissa.
I'm gonna consider.
Okay. You're holding back. You're waiting.
I'm waiting. Yeah.
You're waiting. You consider. You like go. You go.
Yeah.
I see. Very nice. You consider. So he. What is he gonna do? Nope, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Let's switch to combat.
Give me a book. Oh.
You like your book so much? Ah!
Here, you can have them. Oh, nice.
He is going to try to influence you, Clarissa. And he's, yeah. He kind of goes, I understand you, but I refuse to have this stewardess walk into my maester, see such direct and dry thing. I honestly should perhaps bar the Weirlight access. Perhaps he's going to try and intimidate you, Clarissa.
Okay.
He's going to try and intimidate you. Let's see what happens. That's a 12. Your intrigue defense.
Doesn't work. I have a 13.
Wash, just water over you. Like, please reacts as house realize something. And one of those prominent houses in the reach. Yeah, okay, you go block this happens.
That sounds
So
like a
it's-
smart idea for your job.
Yeah, you're immediately like, that's. Yeah, he has all bark, no bite, nothing there.
Boo.
Yeah, Thorsten, your turn again.
What I
this
want to
guy's
know,
being uppity.
what I want to know is if there's anything I can do from my knowledge to roll via education and or research to just kind of like throw into his face, like, look, this is what it says, and you're being a dick about it, and like you need to let us through to do this, or we can take it higher.
So there's nothing really in this that I think, because what you have is kind of circumstantial, and he doesn't really understand. Mm-hmm. And the maesters don't.
Yeah.
What you could do is assist Clarissa, because she considered, which means her next roll is going to be a lot. And if you assist, her roll will be way, way, way better.
Then yeah, I will assist her.
Cool. So you just have to make
her with knowledge.
You just have to make a persuasion test and hit 9. Oh, look, you did it.
Good job.
So
Very good.
What is your persuasion rank? 4?
4.
So +2. Clarissa, you get +2 on your next conflict test.
Very good.
Oh, look, it's your turn.
Oh, look. Look at
Can't see that.
So Clarissa, are you going in for the kill? This guy's teetering.
Yeah, I'm just gonna directly influence him. Just be like, I understand where you're coming from. However, we need this information. I'm just gonna try and brute force it.
All right.
Jesus.
Oh.
I think he did.
Oh. Just like
I think she got the kill.
Hold on.
Mike
gets
Clarissa,
3
right
sixes.
there.
Hold on, Clarissa. It's 2 bonus dice to the roll, not 2 dice.
Well, so then that would be a
So
the 3 and the 2.
The 2, so -5.
So 27.
So 27.
Oh, it's only 27.
That's still
Yeah,
3 6s.
27
From him.
plus
Yeah,
2.
+2.
So
So
29.
29.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. 4 times 3 is 12. He would have to take.
Is this also a crit for her too?
Yes, this would be a crit.
Well,
Yeah, he literally can't take enough. You're just like, I am the steward of the House Weirlight. I am just like same thing. I have already, like, my family already, period, has been at court, and we definitely need to this. Now you can allow us, or you cannot. That is very much your prerogative. But I will go over your head, and I cannot ascertain what might happen to you. But please, if you could see fit to not give us more time to do things. And so he just is like, yes, I suppose. And he takes a bell and pulls on a rope, and you hear it's gung 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 gung. And you hear this come up, and you look over, and Maester Thorsten, you recognize this Maester coming up. He is bent, crooked. His mouth is almost caving in on itself. He has wispy white hair just around some patches of white. His eyes are bloodshot and blue, and he has several chains weighing down, and he's walking with a walking stick. This is, in fact, Maester Lumen, one of the oldest maesters in the Citadel. And he just goes, "Someone needs access to the vault."
Yes, we do. Hello.
Mr. Lumen.
Like,
nice to see you again.
Squints at you, goes, "I remember you. You are Thorsten, yes?"
That would be correct.
"Yes. A sword in your studies. But proud you made the maesters. Proud.
Thank you, sir.
Seems. Is she of some import to your house?"
Yes.
"Young lady, what is your rank?"
I'm steward for House Weirlight.
Acceptable! And he just...
Thank you.
And I give the other maester that was giving me trouble just a whatever glare.
Yeah, like... And he turns around and is like... begins to walk. He seems like he's walking slow, but he's actually pretty nimble. Goes this way into the citadel, Papa.
Perfect.
This is like Sharon ferrying me down the river Styx.
Maester Lumen.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Maester Lumen is 98 years old.
Oh my god.
So you'd say he's vulnerable?
Good for him.
Yeah, he is the maximum age you could be in the...
God.
That is disgusting.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
be only
and he pushes the doors open, and Thorsten, you never miss seeing that sight of the proper walking the huge bookshelves and then seeing it entirely. And Clarissa, you are one of the very women in history who get to see this, and it is breathtaking. As someone as an educated woman and someone who enjoys books as much as Thorsten, you just see thousands, tens of thousands, towering bookshelves that go far above you and deep, deep below you. And with a spinning, whirring contraption, you're not even... and the knowledge and history here is palpable. There's a literal presence to this place.
Thorsten, it's gorgeous.
Agreed.
You're coming! You notice he's like...
Yes, I'm sorry.
He goes, last woman who took in the Macy Citadel, I believe, Melina Blackfire.
Oh, why was she here?
If I remember correctly, the young woman wished to find out certain information about some tactics of an old sea battle. She then burned the book.
Oh.
But don't worry. Young lady, I do not believe all women wish to burn books.
Yes. Yeah, I don't plan to burn your books.
Good!
Okay.
There's very little I could do to stop you.
He knows his limitations.
Great.
I don't beware.
I reassure Maester Lumen in saying I would not let her do that either.
He goes, good! Well, if I remember correctly, Thorsten, you could do very little to defend yourself.
That is true.
I remember several young boys giving you a hard time. I remember one day I found you trapped in the privy. Ass up for the world to see.
These stories are very good, Thorsten. I think I could spend quite a while here. Learn a great deal about you.
Yes, people could.
They were jealous of him, seeing as they had already passed several exams. Boys, he's 10 years older than him. Well, they had. But seeing as they were so much older, they could easily overpower him and stick his head in the...
So what you're saying is I was a nerd.
Yeah, in the Citadel, you were a nerd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely like Spock in the cabin.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, every time I come here, I get a brainer.
Yeah. And so you led it down, deep through some many stairs. And Clarissa, the stairs, they're getting a little rough. It's getting from here. Thorsten seems fine. The Maester Lumen seems fine.
Have them steal, man. They work so much shit.
Maesters, all they do is go up and down here.
This is how we
never
stay
skip
alive.
leg day.
Yeah.
Yep,
We never skip leg day.
Just
It's the only day they have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you go deep down into the vaults. Now, Thorsten, this
What was that you cut out?
You've never been to the vaults.
Huh?
As you go in, these dark stairs, you then start going down this tunnel, and it's almost like built like a catacomb. There are these strange square black pieces of metal built into the stonework. And we get to one, he's got a torch, and he's like, yeah. 47. And he just reaches, lifts part of his robe, and there are just 3 rings of keys that are entirely covered in keys. And he takes one out, and he just goes, And he just grabs one, and the rest fall, and he just sticks it in and turns it and opens it. However, you notice he's not looking at it. He's just like, here you go. Stares off into the middle distance. And inside, you see several torn pieces of parchment bound together in a red string. And sitting next to it, a dark red, velvet cloth wrapped around something.
And next to that, you see the skeleton of the maester that put it there.
Yeah, I'll grab for the cloth first.
Sure, you grab it. And Thorsten, do you grab the pages?
Yes, I do.
All right. You go. Master Lumen closes it very quickly, locks it, and it's already down at his side. And he's like, "Be very careful. What forces you tread with? Many houses are powerful, but none are more powerful than time. This way."
I don't know what that meant. All right, let's go.
I continue to follow.
Yep. You are eventually led out of the Citadel. Clarissa, you are a little
Yeah.
Maester Lumen, while his legs creak like an old haunted house door, he shows no signs of discomfort. Or only signs of discomfort. It's hard to tell. The man's face is a bit collapsing into it.
Oh, pleasant.
And yeah, Thorsten, you come out with the information. Before you leave, Maester Lumen stops both of you and goes, "You must record what you have done in the book."
Of course, Maester Lumen.
Lewis! Get the book. Lewis just stares at Lumen and just pulls the book out to Vault 487 and is just your name again?
Maester Thorsten.
Write something down. Looks at you, Clarissa. Your name?
Clarissa Asterwood.
And he kind of writes it down. Have you taken all logged items out?
Yes.
Well, I guess it depends on what was logged, but probably.
Is it empty?
Yes.
Yes.
He puts it down and closes the book. It is logged. Then it is done! Now away from the sacred place. To your dog. As he just
Good.
begins to just turn around leave.
Good.
And as you leave with the information in tow, whatever is wrapped in that cloth. Actually, Clarissa, do you want to see what's in there?
Yeah. As soon as we're outside, I'll open it.
Yeah, you open it, and you have no idea what you're... It looks like an intricate piece of, woven bark made into a sort of slender, bent shape. Quite honestly, what it looks like to you, Clarissa, and you, Thorsten, is, though made of wood, but it's sort of weird composite wood. It's not cut from one piece. It's many woods stamped together. A finger.
Cool.
And that's where we'll end the session.
Knew that was coming.
Got a horrible feeling.
Who knows what will happen in session? The steward and maester of House, an encroaching threat to the coming crops, the next crop yield, which is the main and almost entirely driving force behind the wealth of House Weirlight. Unbeknownst to them, House Weirlight enters a tumultuous situation of the marriage between two rivals, and with who knows what tricks and turns may be ahead. Some friends are near, but who knows who is an enemy. And hopefully we'll find out next time. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys had fun, my player.
Yeah.
I know things got weird, but that's the point. So exactly. We will see you guys next time. Same bat channel, same bat place. And hope to see you then. Bye.